So I'll be looking at,
Mikey.
okay, Mikey. You say when, ask the question. Do you want like a 30-second answers or 4 minutes or?
30 seconds to a minute.
Trabajo pues con este proyecto de Radio Vieques, que es nuestra emisora comunitaria.
I'm Robert Rabin here at the Fort Count Mirasol Museum in Vieques, which houses Radio Vieques, our community radio station, WVQR 90.1 FM, radiovieques.net, streaming 24/7. The Fort Count Mirasol is a historic monument. It's one of Puerto Rico's most important historic monuments and an emblematic piece of Vieques historic architectural patrimony. We have a big focus on people's history. It's sort of the other side of history. So it's the history of, the indigenous people's struggle to stop, against this colonial process over 500 years ago. The Taino defense of Vieques, Casimar and Yaurebo, the two Taino caciques of Vieques, in their struggle in 1514. It's about the struggle of enslaved Africans, other sugarcane workers in the 19th century who, did a large number of a wide array of protest movements. Many of them ended up jailed in this building. That was a prison as well.
Una lucha que no se hubiera tenido esa gran victoria del 1 de mayo de 2003 sin la solidaridad de mucha gente de todas partes del mundo, amantes de la paz, creyentes en la justicia. Así que gracias, Diana, por esta iniciativa y estamos ya terminando.
Radio Vieques is a community radio station, full power FM station that is heard in all of eastern Puerto Rico and throughout the world on the internet. It grew out of the struggle to stop U.S. Navy bombing on Vieques. It was a project of the Committee for the Rescue and Development of Vieques, one of the key grassroots community organizations here in the 90s that was one of the leading groups in that intense struggle between 99 and 2003 that finally stopped U.S. Navy bombing here. And in the post-bombing period, many of us in the Committee for the Rescue and Development of Vieques moved into this project and started it up. It took us almost 10 years to finally get on the air and get this FCC license. And, we see this as a tool for the continuing struggles in the post-bombing period for decontamination, to get the land back, deal with the health issues, and sustainable development. Also to just be a good educational tool for younger generations and get the community activated around social issues here. Well, Vieques was, a particularly, powerful message for a lot of people. It was one of the few moments in Puerto Rico's history where people came together all across the ideological spectrum, politically, religiously, philosophically, and joined together and made this commitment to stop Navy bombing. And people were willing to put their lives on the line, their liberty on the line, their jobs on the line, and it worked, as you mentioned. It was a success in as much as we got the Navy to stop. There's still certainly a lot more to be done here. But the victory of getting the Navy to stop bombing, was a very clear result of a multifaceted strategy that was really important as a model, and I think it's something that people need to look at. It wasn't just the civil disobedience was important, it was key, and it was inspiring, and it inspired singers, songwriters, poets, theater people, and others to do poetry and to do music, and then that music inspired other people to do civil disobedience, so we had this constantly recharging battery. It was a very special dynamic of mutual inspiration between the struggle here and artists throughout Puerto Rico and people of faith as well throughout the world. It was a clear manifestation of the capacity that an organized militant people who are committed to make the sacrifices and to work with civil disobedience as an important tool, can have an effect. I mean, this small community, with the love and support of the rest of the Puerto Rican nation in the archipelago and in the diaspora, without firing a single shot, defeated the most powerful military force in the history of humanity. That's a really powerful message. You know, these are interesting times. You know, some describe it as a crisis and the world has fallen down. And so, you know, we don't want to belittle the crisis. A lot of people are going through some really bad moments. But it's also a time of a lot of energy, and we see this throughout, you know, not only in Vieques, in Puerto Rico, throughout the U.S. as well, and other places. People are enraged by the situation, so they tend to act, get energized, get organized, united, and work and become creative. And so projects like the museum, like Radio Vieques, the historic archives, are tools, I would suggest. They're important tools, you know, for these processes of community organization to push for a better world, you know, to make the world just, to make this a more loving place for all of us. My name is Robert Rabin, and I defend Puerto Rico.